Hello and welcome to the channel. So I'm back with 3 figures from the Star Wars world, more precisely the Mandalorian world. And I was over at my mate's house, had a good day, did a bit of filming of the collection, not all of it. Hopefully you've seen that on the channel, and I'd like to thank him once again for that opportunity, and I can't wait to do a whole tour sequence. But anyway, while I was over there, I picked up a couple of figures while I was passing through town to go to his house. And one of these figures you're seeing today being posed alongside Mandalorian and Night Owl. Now let's come to Night Owl first. This figure I bought because I thought she was, because I reviewed her, so you might have seen her on a few other Mandalorian or Star Wars videos, but yeah, I bought her thinking her name was Bo-Katan Kryze, and in fact this figure I bought yesterday is Bo-Katan Kryze. And if I come up close on the shoulder panel, that's kind of an owl symbol, which is the same as hers. And she is part of the Night Owl squadron of Mandalorians, in which she, Bo-Katan Kryze, is the leader. And I think she came into season 2 and kind of like a minor character, but really grew in the storyline, and she eventually ends up getting the black saber that Mandalorian has there. So I'm going to pose her with that saber, but this is the pose these guys are in at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll get them into one more pose, and then I'll remove the helmets of both the Night Owl Squadron soldier and Bo-Katan Kryze. Hopefully that is her name. So let's just put that on pause. So I've just posed them out slightly then. We'll come to Bo Kryze, or Bo-Katan Kryze. And I've got the targeting device down over the helmet, as you can see. And I quite like that dynamic. And you get a little bit of the jetpack, which is on the back there. But I like the figure, and it seems to go well with this figure, one of her Night Owl troopers. Sorry if you could see some glare there or shadow, but can't be helped. So we come to Mandalorian basically sort of sideways on, with his long pulse rifle attached to his back. So we'll get the helmets off the figures, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I've taken off the helmets now, so we'll come to this figure, my new acquisition of Bo-Katan Kryze. Not a bad head sculpt. I am familiar with this actress. I saw her in a Riddick movie, Vin Diesel, and she was kind of chasing him down in that movie, but don't remember seeing her since, until I watched Mandalorian. So that's not bad. So we'll come over to, I just call her Night Owl Trooper, who I originally thought was Bo-Katan Kryze, but yeah, she's got 2 pistols, but no holster for that pistol. So I'll have to go back and watch it and see why she got an additional pistol with this figure. Maybe that was in the story somehow. But that's a nice looking figure. And there's a damaged battle helmet. And then we've got Mandalorian there, square on. So I've got one last pose, taking it back. I've got one last pose and that will be it. So I've got her out back on her own. Just decided I'm going to do this last segment because it is essentially about this figure, to do these last few bits of posing on her own on that platform. That sounded too long-winded to explain. Okay, let's come in close. She now has the black saber, which you do see in the final season of Mandalorian, or season 3, I believe. And that's when the Mandalorians mount an attack on a Empire installation where Moff Gideon is waiting for them with his new black shock troopers, black armored shock troopers. So quite an epic battle. So that's her with the black saber. I'm going to change it slightly and show you something else. Coming in close, and you can see there she's now holding her sidearm. That's not bad. Coming around the other side. Not too bad. Bit of glare there, I think. So yeah, I think I'll put the helmet on and see what that looks like. So yeah, that looks pretty good with the helmet on. I like that. That's a nice look. She could go back in my display looking this way. Not sure yet. Let's see a bit more of that jetpack. That's nice, that. Not bad from far out. Okay. I'll pause it one more time and finish it off. So back for the last time. This is the final shot of Bo-Katan Kryze. Hopefully I've got that right. I'll get a close up on the helmet, some battle damage, but that's a nice bit of movement in that pose. And then Night Owl Trooper, final pose. And probably will go back in the display in this pose. And coming across the platform, we've just got Mandalorian there. Had him in this pose before, but decided just to keep the sidearm in his hand and keep the rifle on the back of the figure. So that is the review of that figure, and that was going at a retail price of $11.99, which is not the only reason I picked it up, because I did want it for the longest time, but the timing never seemed to be right. But these figures normally retail at $28.99, so to get it for $11.99, I'm happy about that. And those trio together look quite good. So on that note, I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.